Aaron here, bringing you another random rambling video. I started this on Monday, the 31st and last day of March in 2025 at 7:19 p.m. Along with welcoming you to my channel, allow me to thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe before sharing this video and turning on the post notification bell. I forgot to turn my overhead light on before I made this video, so now it looks pretty dark to you, I bet. I look dark on my screen. Hopefully it shows up better on your computer or TV or wherever you're watching this. Your phone, forever. I've been playing chess all day and finally won one game against a 1350 rated bot on chess.com. I've been playing an 1800 rated bot, but I beat that bot the very first time I played it. I guess I got lucky. I decided to play defense and tried not to attack too soon without having everything developed. I just concentrated on protecting all my pieces and not giving up any forks or any, I don't know, basically not giving up any forks. I lose a lot of pieces to forks and pins and whatnot. So, I was very careful against this 1800 bot the first time I played the bot. Not to give up any forks or free material. And the bot rated 1800 somehow hung a queen early in the game. He got his queen pinned to the king with my rook. So if he would have captured the rook, I would have taken back with my queen. So he really couldn't do anything, and he was perpetually pinned to the king. So there wasn't much he could do to prevent me capturing his queen with my rook. Now, losing a queen for a rook is not a great situation for black. The bot was playing black, and it put him in a bad spot. Unfortunately, I won from there. It came down to an end game. I just outplayed him in the end game. I don't have a great end game. I'm not Magnus Carlsen, but I've studied a lot about the end game. I know how to take opposition. I know a lot of things about promoting pawns with the help of my king. And when it came down to me trading off all the pieces, which left me with a passed pawn, and my king was active. His king had to get it all the way across the board before I could promote my wing pawn. I got pawn on my mind. This is Freudian stoop, I guess they would say. So that's usually the hardest. You have to beat your opponent's king to the corner, or you can't promote. If the king gets in there nice and comfy, if the king makes it to the corner nice and comfy when you're trying to promote that farm, I see in my case it was the H pawn. I was playing white. The H pawn I was trying to promote on the outside of the board, and the king was too far, and my king was up the board and active, and so I just got my king in place to where he couldn't move his king into the corner to block the pawn from promoting. He tried to walk over, and I finally promoted my pawn, and it was just king and queen versus king. I know that ending well. I can force mate with that ending every time. I I know how to walk the opposing king to the edge of the board, pin him to the edge of the board, force him to stay on the edge of the board, and then move my king into position to use my queen to mate him. And that's what I did against the bot the first time. And then since then, I can't get anywhere against the bot. I was able to get down to an end game another time. Usually I had to resign or just got mated in the middle game. Every other time after I beat it. But this time, another time when I got to the end game and just got flat out outplayed in the end game, he promoted and I had to resign. I thought I had a fighting chance in that game, but I just couldn't. 1,800 bots are going to know a little more about the end game than I do. I beat a GM bot rated 32 something in chess.com. I hit the hint button on every move, and it shows you the best move. And with the hints, I beat a 3,200 something rated bot. That's GM speed. That's super GM speed. Her name was Martina. Rated 32 something. I can probably look up right now what she's rated. Let me see. Let's see. Chess.com. There it is. Enter. Hope you can still see me. I see chess.com. I don't see me anymore, but I'm sure you do. Let's see. Let's take play. Play. Play bots. I clicked on play bots. Here we go. Let's see. Trying to find out where Martina is rated. Let's see. There she is. Martina is rated 3250. That's super GM speed. Yay, new friend. I love you. Well, I'm not going to play you, Martina. I got no shot against you. I will play this 1350 again. His name is Marty. I try to play his baby brother, Martin the 13th, who's rated 1800, the bot I was talking about earlier. And I don't have much success against him. I'm kind of tired of playing him. I will play Marty again, the 1350 rated bot. I'm doing a little something, beating him. I mean, I feel good when I beat a 1350 rated bot. I'm only rated 400 on chess.com. So I'm doing something, beating a 1350. I beat it once. I only played it once and I beat it. I feel confident I can beat it again. I'll just play the same strategy I played against his brother. Not to attack too early without my pieces being developed. I think Ben Feingold says to, I forget what he says about bringing all your men to the party or bring all your soldiers to the war, whatever he says. The idea is, before you start an attack, make sure all your pieces are coming with you to the attack. Don't start an attack without your pieces being developed. That's what it comes down to. I like the castle. Some people don't like the castle. I think Andrea Botes is the one who doesn't like the castle. I believe, I don't know. There's someone on YouTube, a chess tuber, who refuses to castle. I prefer the castle. I was taught in the books I read and in the things I watched, the tutorials I watched on YouTube, I was taught to develop early and castle early. And so that's what I try to do. I usually castle short side because it's easier to get everything. It's easier to get everything out of the way on the king side than it is on the queen side. You gotta move your queen. You gotta get your bishop out, your dark squared bishop out, and your knight out. And then, although the when you castle queen side, your bishop is instantly in play. It's got a nice file to not a file, but a nice row. Is it row or file? What's it called? I guess it's file. What's the what is each across one called? That's a row, I guess. And the straight up and down is called a file. I guess. I don't remember. I'm not very good at chess. I don't know very much about chess, but I love to play, and I can play a little bit. I can probably beat the average bear every time. As a matter of fact, in my 17 years now living in a nursing home, I've played several people and haven't lost yet. Everybody plays and wants to challenge you and tell you how good they play. I just play my best, and I haven't lost yet against all these champions, so-called champions. All these guys who claim to be champions, I haven't lost to them yet. But that's part of the male ego, to brag about how good they are when they're not very good. I was a pool player before my stroke, and it's the same thing with pool. So many people, mainly guys, really only guys, would brag about how good they play pool, and then you get up there and watch them, and they can't make two balls in a row. But they always want to, they always want to talk about how good they play, and then they don't want to embarrass themselves when you say, well, then get up there and play for X amount per game. They're going, yeah, you got me. And so they get up there and they get beat bad and lose a lot of money because of their ego, because of their pride. They got themselves so stuck in their story that they couldn't back down. It would hurt their pride if they backed down and had to admit that they really don't play as good as they said. The same thing happens with although I never gambled at chess, I don't believe, in my life. I might have put something small in chess at some point. I got a friend named Jim who was on his chess team in high school or college, so he was a pretty good player. And I lost to him every time we played until my stroke, and we played online. I think on chess.com we played online. I finally beat him. I was able to fork his king and his rook with my knight, and I wound up a rook for free. It wasn't even a rook for a knight. I got it for free. And then I came out of the corner where the rook was. I was able to fork his king and his queen because he moved his queen into a fork. So I beat him pretty bad that game. He was stuck a rook and a queen for now a knight. A rook and a queen for a knight. That's very bad. It was very bad for him. And I sailed on to an easy win against him. That's why I make sure I watch out for those forks. A fork is when you attack two pieces at the same time, and you can't like when you put a player in, when you threaten a piece with a fork while you're putting the king in check, unless that piece can capture the knight or whatever piece you use, unless that piece can be captured, you're guaranteed to lose material. And so you gotta watch out for those forks. There's been times in which I use my bishop to fork a piece. Or you can definitely use your bishop to pin pieces to the king, and then that wins material. Sometimes the queen gets pinned to the king by a bishop, and then as long as the bishop is protected, He's gonna lose a queen for a bishop. As long as the bishop's protected, because if the bishop has the queen pinned to the king, the queen could just capture the bishop if it's not protected. And then that player would just win a free rook, a free bishop, I mean. But if that bishop is protected, and then the queen can't move, so all she can do is, capture the bishop before she gets captured by a pawn or whatever piece he uses to recapture the queen, which would be the same thing as if the queen stayed where she was, and the king could recapture the bishop. Same thing, queen for a bishop. That's a very good situation. But in this particular game against Jim, my friend, I forked this king and his rook, and was able to capture the rook, and then when I came out of the corner, I forked his king and his queen, and I captured his queen. This time for the knight. The first time, I kept the knight even, obviously, or I couldn't have come out of the corner with it. And I won his queen for a knight that time, so I won rook and queen for a knight. That's a pretty good situation. And that led to an easy win. Because I had a queen versus one rook. A queen versus one rook. And then, I don't know, I started picking off his pawns, creating a pass pawn for myself, and I just pushed it through. He had nothing, the rook. I actually had two pass pawns, I believe, because when I promoted the one pawn, he captured it with his rook, the one rook he had, and I was able to recapture with my queen, and then just pushed the other pass pawn on through, winning easily. I just had to be careful not to give up the stalemate, which means that if the king is not in second, has no legal move, that's a stalemate. So I had two queens, but I didn't need. All you need is a queen if you got a queen and a king against the king, that should be an easy mate. But I went for two queens just to, make it easier, and it made it pretty easy, and I won. I was careful. I didn't give up the stalemate. We weren't on the clock, or that would be bad because I had to take a little time to see if the king has a square to go to. If I move here or there, I have to check to make sure the king has a safe square. And if I have to do that on a clock, it takes a little time. But we weren't playing on the clock. I don't believe we might have been. We might have been playing a rapid game. Well, it doesn't really matter now. But I'm going to hang this up. It's been how long? 18 minutes. That's why 18:18 actually, as I look down. That's lucky, I guess. 18:18, is that good luck? I don't know. I'm going to hang it up now after 18. What is it now? Certainly 18:30 by now. 18:30. I'm going to hang it up now. I'm going to tell you two fingers, A-Dub Club. See you when I see you. Peace mahalo. Here we go. Right here. Peace.